We are now on my 5th anime, Attack on Titan. When this was coming out, I binged the entire first 3 seasons so that I could get to season 4 in time for the release dates, and I enjoyed it a lot. I'm going to put the time codes below in the description so that you can jump to each season so you know where to start. If you don't want to watch season 1, you can watch season 2, and so on. So, I hope you guys enjoy.
Funny thing is, I didn't like this when I first watched it years ago, but going back to it, I don't even understand why I didn't like it, because I loved the first season. I thought it was really interesting. As soon as Eren's father said he'd explain their secret below their house when he got back, I knew some shit was gonna happen. And then cue the Colossus Titan that just comes in and starts wrecking shit. And holy crap, that was so gruesome, just watching people die and die and die. Eren and Mikasa lose the mom, and then it's just like, holy shit, what is going on in this? And just so many people die. And then we fast track to when they're all in the cadets, when they all graduate, and as soon as they all graduate, the Titans attack again, and holy shit, so many of them die. Like, you're like, oh, I like this character dies. I like this character dies. Literally just everyone starts to die. And then Eren goes in, you're like, oh, he's gonna fight all these guys, and then it looks like he dies. And I was like, what? I thought he was the main character. What the hell's going on? But of course, later we find out that he's a Titan, and that even blew my mind even more, that he had morphed into this Titan, because I thought he died, and I was like, so confused for a few episodes there. But luckily, he got sent to the Scouts later and became a Scout like he always wanted to, and I like how all the cadets that we really got to know also went to the Scouts because they were kind of inspired by Eren. And then that leads into them and the female Titan. And then we find out Annie is that female Titan. I'm like, what? And then she gets surrounded by this crystal and kind of closes herself off. So I'm kind of curious what's going to happen with her next. The ending shows Titans are in the freaking wall. Like, what? I need to watch season 2 now because I'm so intrigued by this. Attack on Titan is so good. I finished season 2 and holy shit, I had so many moments where I was just flabbergasted about what's going on. Right off the bat of the season, they show the Beast Titan who just freaking screws those guys like no tomorrow. Then they have Mike get eaten alive by the Titans, and they lasted on that scene for so long, and I'm like, this is so uncomfortable to watch this guy get ripped to shreds. And on top of that, the Beast Titan throughout the whole season was really weird. He looks really weird the first part, and he's climbing over the wall, and he's throwing shit, and he's smart, and I'm like, who the hell is this guy? Because this is obviously another person Titan. I did like the Sasha flashbacks, and I really like her character a lot more because of it. And then we have Connie's village, and by the end of the season, they say that they were the Titans because one of the ones laying on the roof was Connie's mom, and it's just like, holy shit, what is going on? Humans are Titans. And you may hear, holy shit, I did not think she was a Titan either, and that shocked the shit out of me. And then the biggest what the fuck moment with Rainer and Bertholdt, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, were the actual Colossus and the armored Titan. When they were telling Eren that they're the armored and the Colossus, I'm like, oh, they're just screwing with him to see if he'll go with them and if he's a traitor. And then nope, they turn into the Colossus, there's a huge big fight, Eren ends up losing, they get taken, I'm like, oh my god, what the frick is going on? And then everyone goes after to chase them, which we just get death after death after death of everyone dying. Irwin's a badass, he loses his arm and still fights. And then we have the Titan that ate Eren's mother. Hannes goes to kill him and he ends up dying himself. But then we find out right after that Eren has the power to control Titans. I'm like, what the hell is going on? Why is Eren so OP? Even though he still loses to everyone. Because holy shit, Attack on Titans is so interesting. I thought the beginning of the season was pretty interesting because they set up the fact that the government is trying to cover up that Historia is the rightful queen to everything. And I love how our main gang is part of Levi's squad now because Levi's squad is, well, no longer after the last season. And I thought it was really interesting how they play that out because then the scouts become criminals, and during that whole time while they were criminals, it was pretty cool because they have to go in resistance mode to kind of stay hidden and overthrow the government. I like how they introduced Kenny the Ripper, who ends up being Levi's uncle. And also Mikasa is related to them because her father went off into the woods and left their side of the family. So I thought that was kind of cool how they're all related because I didn't see that coming. I love watching Levi fight though because watching him fight Kenny's group was awesome because you see him going through the air like a goddamn superhero and it was just really cool to watch. I like how Hanji figures out that the government has a Titan and they want to eat Eren so that Titan can gain Eren's powers. And I thought that was really interesting how they played that out because I was very confused because of course the government has a Titan because everyone apparently has a Titan on their side. I like how we finally figured out what happened to Eren's father. I thought it was really cool that Eren's father had the Titan serum in him somehow. He went to the capital where the royal family was, killed all of them, took their Titan's power, then went back, gave Eren the serum so Eren could eat him and give him the power. So Eren ate his own father, and that's pretty messed up. But he did give him powers, and that's probably what his father wanted the entire time. When they go into their fight at the cave, it looks really cool with all of them going around. Then you have Levi versus Kenny, which is really awesome to watch. And that whole cave sequence was really cool of them taking out Kenny's men and saving Eren. The reason the Rice family had the Titan power is that they've been passing it down for generations, so they've been and giving their younger ones the power to eat each other, and that's really weird, but I mean, hey, at least they have the power of gods. And I like when Historia's father tries to get her to take the serum to eat Eren. Historia says no, and then he takes it, turning into this giant, freaking weird-ass titan, like bigger than any other ones, and Eren has to save his friends by taking an armor serum and protecting them, which I thought was pretty cool. And then Historia ends up killing her father later and getting all the memories of her sister and her whole family that she didn't really know. And she becomes queen. And I love how after she becomes queen, she punches Levi because Levi can't do anything now because she's the queen and he's just a scout. I also like how Irwin's dad was pointing out that there were contradictions in the history books about what's going on with the history and why they're around the walls. And I'm looking forward to seeing that unfold more. And I also like how we found out that Eren's father was found in Titan territory way back in the day before he came into the walls. So I can't wait to figure out what the hell is going on with him and where he truly came from. I love how they're going back to Wall Maria to take it back. And we're going to finally see them reclaim their home and also figure out what the hell is in that cellar. And I like how when they're going there, they're trying to figure out why there's no Titans around, where all the enemies are, because they know Rainer and Bertold are there. I love how they find Rainer and Levi goes in so ham and just tries to get his head off, but couldn't kill him. And then the Armored Titan comes out. But then all of a sudden, the Beast Titan just magically appears out of nowhere with a freaking line of Titans, and they block off the scouts from getting away. And I'm like, where the hell did they come from? We get an Eren versus Rainer rematch, and it was a pretty cool rematch. Eren kind of fucked up a couple times, but he also still was doing pretty good against him. They have the scouts come in with Thunder Spirits to take out his Nape. They're able to do it. They almost kill him. Bertold saves him. Then he almost dies again, and then the Beast Titan saves him. So, I mean, he's gonna be still around, so I'm curious to see where he's gonna come back into next season. Also, that Beast Titan is OP as shit. The dude freaking threw rock chunks into the scouts that were on the other side of the wall, killing all of them. And then you have later Erwin and all the recruits going into fight and charge, and they just all get killed. Somehow the one that was kind of the most useless survives. When we made Bertold transform inside the walls with our main group of scouts, he kills everyone else. We think Hanji dies. Luckily, she doesn't. And it's just like, holy crap. And we've never really seen how tall the Colossus is before, like full-fledged. And I thought this was really cool. And then they finally kill him with Armin sacrificing himself and getting burned alive. And I was so shocked. I was like, no, please, dear God, you didn't kill Armin, because I loved Armin's character. And luckily, he didn't die and he survived. And then I was like, wait, whoa. He survived? He's a charred up sack of meat. I love how when Erwin was charging the recruits to the Beast Titan, we had Levi being super badass, going and slashing his way through all the Titans and then hacking up the freaking Beast Titan. That was so cool. It sucked that he didn't kill him because that would have been a badass hero moment. I love how everyone's trying to figure out if Erwin or Armin should get the Titan serum, and Levi's gonna give it to Erwin because he's the commander and that he deserves it, but everyone's trying to argue for Armin, and then he ends up giving it to Armin anyways because Erwin kind of pushes him away when he tries to give it to him, and Levi decides that Erwin should die today in his own way. I thought that was pretty cool, and I love that they kept Armin around. But holy shit, there's so much lore to this. I did not expect all this stuff to be happening. That Grisha came from this other settlement across the sea, and it turns out that there's all these people have the blood of Ymir, the first Titan. And because of that, all the people who don't have the blood see them as scum. And Grisha came from this area before, and then he made his way back to Paradise Island, where Eren and all of them are from. And I thought it was really cool that the Ymir had 9 Titan subjects, but I thought it was really cool, and those are the bloodlines. And there was a great Titan War, I thought it was really cool. And Eren has a half-brother named Zeke, and the Titan that killed Eren's mom was his stepmom, because Eren's dad had a family before Eren. Like, holy shit, what the fuck is going on? And one sec, is Zeke, the half-brother, a goddamn Titan? Is he the Beast Titan? Because he looks very familiar as they age up. Like, he's blonde. I feel like it could be it, and I can't wait to find out in season 4. I love how the scouts finally reach the sea, so I cannot wait for season 4 where they go to that other area and other settlement and really learn what the world is around them. Because this is really intense. Like, there's so much lore behind this now. I'm like, there's probably so much more that's going to happen. I cannot wait to figure out what's going on. It went from like, oh, they're fighting each other to holy shit, there's an entire other area and Titans are made by these people and everyone has bloodline in them and there's a great war. So this is freaking awesome, and I cannot wait till the next season. Honestly, I don't even know where to begin. I like how it picks up 4 years later, which is a real shocker, and I was like, what the hell is going on? So we pick up with the Marleyans, and not even our main group, fighting a war and them using all their different Titans, which was pretty cool. Okay. And I like how the Marleyans are using the kids, the Devil's Blood, to make more Titan beasts and making them their soldiers and warriors to fight their wars. Really, Marley has just brainwashed their entire civilization that they're devils and that they're bad. And Gabi is so goddamn brainwashed. It's like she is so brainwashed that she doesn't even see anything clear as day. And I mean, Eren makes it 10 times worse. Well, we find out that Eren has infiltrated Marley and he is out for blood. And he starts a war and goes after the Warhammer Titan, which has a really goddamn cool power set. And that whole fight was just epic with the scouts coming in and being forced to help Eren, even though they didn't really want to start that war, but they went in anyways. And then I find out that Zeke was part of this plan the entire time. And Zeke's been working with Eren to take down Marley. It's pretty insane. During that huge fight when Armin comes in and just destroys the docks, I was like, holy shit. I would have never seen Armin doing something like that. It was pretty dark. They killed so many civilians and I felt so bad. I was like, who do I side with? Like, Eren specifically killed so many innocent people in that fight, and he really turned Gabi into another him. From her wanting to kill him, like how he wanted to kill Rainer. So it's just, the parallels. That whole fight was awesome though, pretty cool, except Sasha dies and I was not happy about that. When Sasha got shot by Gabi, I was so mad, because I love Sasha. I'm like, why do you gotta kill her? Her weirdness, I love it. And she was a sharpshooter, so cool. And then all the scouts beat up the kids, and I felt bad for the kids because, I mean, Gabi did shoot him, but Falco's pretty cool, and I like Falco. And he didn't deserve to get beat up. He's a good kid. There was so much to this too. Like, Eren is turning into an antagonist, and I saw this kind of spoiled before, and I was like, how could Eren turn into an antagonist? And now I see. He's going cuckoo. I don't see a bright future for him, and I feel like something bad's gonna happen in part 2. Because now no one else trusts him anymore, since what he's done. I thought it was really interesting later, when Gabi and Falco were on the run, they run into Sasha's dad without knowing it, and they also run into Kia, who was that girl Sasha saved from the Titan when the Titans were attacking. And I was like, oh, this is not gonna end well when they find out. Well, they find out Niccolo, who is a Marleyan who fell in love with Sasha, tries to kill Gabi. Sasha's dad steps in, and he pretty much says enough is enough. We're not gonna kill these kids because these kids were taught wrong, and that's pretty much what happened. It's just people killing each other, and there's no point. But then Kia goes after her because Kia gets mad that she killed her sister because she sees Sasha as a sister after Sasha's the only one who would save her. And I thought that was pretty dark and sad because it's just like, I get where they're all coming from, but Gabi's still a kid. She's a brainwashed kid at that. I still can't believe that Eren took over the government though. And then Zeke turned a bunch of scouts that were Levi's squad into Titans because they've been drinking his spinal fluid, which is pretty disgusting. But holy shit, that fight, Levi just fucked Zeke up like no tomorrow. And I'm really hoping Levi's not dead, but I doubt they'd kill him that way. I feel like it'd be a more on screen instead of him just getting blown up by Zeke. So we'll see. I think it's gonna be a pretty badass fight when Levi comes back. I did find it interesting that we learned Zeke's backstory, and the whole point of him becoming a Titan, he wants to make it so no other Eldians can have kids, so that means the Titan lineage will just die off, and then no one has to worry about Titans anymore. I mean, that's a possibility, but you know, life finds a way. I don't think that would be the end of it even if they tried. I think the Titans would come back around, because this is like some magical shit. You really think just not having kids for so many years is gonna stop them? There's gonna be a new way for them to come back. I also found it was pretty dark that Eren agrees with Zeke. Eren's gone down the dark path now. I don't think things are looking too hot for him. And then when the Jaw Titan came out to eat Eren, I'm like, oh, you fucked up, dude. You are so screwed now because you just pissed off Eren and he's gonna kick your ass. I don't know how I feel about Gabi though after all this. Like, I feel bad for her because she's so brainwashed, but it's so hard to feel bad and sympathize because she's kind of crazy. But I feel like she could have been a good kid if she didn't get brainwashed. Holy shit, Attack on Titan Season 4 is insane. Of course, Part 2 starts off with the attack on Eldia, because the Marleyans are coming back for revenge after what Eren did to them. That fight alone was pretty cool. How Eren was pretty much fighting everyone. He started with Rainer. That Rainer and Eren rematch was pretty cool. And it's hard because throughout this part of the season, I'm like, who do I root for now? Because now I'm feeling sympathetic for the enemies, and I feel like I'm not liking Eren as much as I used to. I'm like, I like all these other characters a lot more now. Like, I hated Rainer, but now I feel for him. Watching Eren use the Warhammer Titan's abilities was pretty cool, and watching him pretty much hold off all the other Titans was awesome to watch, and him trying to get to Zeke once Zeke arrived. And Zeke took out those blimps like no tomorrow. Like, you know, a couple little bit of rocks, boom, all dead. Easy peasy. But that was just, that whole fight was just bloodshed. And I love how the Jaegerists were getting absolutely destroyed though, because God, those guys are, I don't like those guys at all. Especially because, you know, they're locking up our favorite characters and treating them as the enemy. But I really do like how Gabi finally realizes that everyone's human and that they're all pretty similar and they're all fighting because the other person attacked, and realizing, you know, there's no difference between them. They're the same. And I love how she also realizes that she's been blindly following orders this entire time. I thought that was really good character development. And also, I really love that Falco admitted his love for her. I'm like, ah, that's so adorable. You know, Zeke's an ass because he likes Falco, and then he just turns Falco into a Titan anyways, even though Cole tries to help him. Falco loses his brother. Galliard sacrifices himself so that Falco could have the Jaw Titan to become a kid again, even though Rainer was going to let it happen. And then Gabi shoots Eren's head clean off. I was like, holy shit. I'm like, well, shit, did they kill Eren? But they didn't, because then they had that whole mindscape thing with Eren and Zeke going to see Grisha's memories, and this whole time Eren's responsible for everything going on because he gave the idea to Grisha when Grisha originally attacked the royal family, because how the memories work through time. Some weird shit going on here. This whole time Eren was playing Zeke. Zeke knew about it, but then Eren one-ups him again, ends up taking the power of Ymir. Ymir puts his head back on his body and he becomes the ginormous titan and tear down all the walls and starts marching towards the rest of the world. And then we find out later, by taking down all those walls, he kills so many people around the cities. And I'm like, dude, you just killed your own people. Like, what the hell's wrong with you? And then on top of it all, he's about to go kill all the other people with the same type of blood that he has throughout the world. And he's just committing genocide. It's just like, this is not the way. And I love how that R group realizes that, and now they're gonna go after Eren, teaming up with their enemies. Now they're all kind of becoming friends because they've kind of been comrades before, like Annie and Rainer. It's kind of nice to see. I like them all together, and I love how they kind of bicker back and forth too, because they are enemies, but they also are friends. I really like how Gabi saves Sasha's family from dying, and I love how Kaya accepts her in. You know, they've saved each other, amends have been given it, now she sees her as a sister. I really like that moment, because, you know, she killed Sasha because of retribution for Sasha killing her friends. It was just a lot of bloodshed that really didn't need to happen. After Eren tore down the walls, Annie was also released, which led to some good moments. It showed us Annie's backstory and how she was raised, and then it showed her father rebelling against the Marleyans because they wouldn't believe him that they were all gonna die because of the rumbling. And then he dies. I think he dies anyways, because we heard a gunshot, but we didn't actually see a body. But I like how slowly through these episodes, they all start teaming up, like Gabi and Armin team up to go save Falco from Connie. Hanji and Levi team up with Peak. So they all slowly start to team up together. But I like how when Connie tries to feed Falco to his mother to try to save his mother, Armin goes to sacrifice himself because he wants to repent for his sins. And Connie ends up saving him. Like, they apologize to each other and they head off with Falco and Gabi. And I love how when Flock is going to execute the 2 volunteers, John's about to do it. He misses, and then before Flock can go, Peak arrives and swallows them all up, eating him, and then gets away. I thought that was a pretty cool moment. And I love how Hanji reminds John that they're scouts forever, and they all remember their fallen comrades, and I thought it was a really good moment. But then it leads to that little campfire moment later, and how they're all kind of saying what bad shit's happened, so they find out what happened to Marco, and then Jean beats the living shit out of Rainer for it. There's so much trauma amongst all of them. It's just like they now have a shared trauma there. But then that leads to them going to the port to get the flying ship, where Flock is taken over, and it's just like some shit's gonna go down, and I hate Flock. I really hate Flock. Connie and Armin try to go in, and then Samuel shoots Armin in the face, so Connie has to take him down. Connie ends up having to kill 2 of his home comrades. They even said, we thought we were friends, and he says, we are friends. And it's like, holy shit. All these guys have to kill people they know, they've grown up with, they've fought side by side with, and it's such a bad position for all of them to be in. But I love the moment when Mikasa comes through the window to save Kiyomi, and I'm like, some badass shit's gonna happen. That whole 2 episodes where they're fighting is so freaking awesome to watch as they slash through everyone, because Mikasa's a badass fighter. I love Mikasa. She's one of my favorite characters, and she's so cool. I love when Rainer and Annie were fighting all the guys, and they stepped in front of the ship to like protect the ship, and they were just taking all the blasts. I'm like, oh my god, they're gonna die, but luckily they didn't. And I love how Falco wants to join the fight, so he turns into the Jaw Titan, and his Jaw Titan is so goddamn cool. It looks better than Ymir's, and it looks better than Gallard's. Then you have the general staying back to save them, and then he runs into Shadis, who blew up the train of reinforcements, and then him and the general sacrifice themselves to blow up the ship so that Jaegerists cannot follow them. And I'm like, holy shit. Not an epic final as I thought it was gonna be. I thought it was gonna be something really extravagant, especially after they left the dock. But no. It started with a flashback. I didn't realize it was a flashback at first. I'm like, this is weird. Shouldn't these all be destroyed? Shouldn't they be more in a rush? And they're all very happy and everything. I'm like, what's going on? And then we find out it was from the first time when the gang went to go to Marley, which was interesting in itself, because you also had Mikasa talking over about how Eren was changing, was interesting. And I also love how one of the clowns on the docks thought that Levi was a kid because of how short he was. I giggled off that. And I love how he helped this other immigrant kid that was stealing from people from getting beaten, which led to a nice moment later in the episode where Eren, Mikasa, Armin, and all of them went and drank with all these people who lost their homes because of war, and they had this really wholesome night, and I really liked it. And it's nice to see, even though we don't have all those characters anymore. They showed us when Eren left the group and how he infiltrated Marley, and how, what he did, because he cut off his own leg and he stabbed himself in the eye so that he would pretend to be a soldier. So that's how that happened. And also at the very end, I totally thought those big titans would be walking in the water. I didn't think they'd be swimming, which was so weird to see. And holy shit, that line is freaking huge. Everyone's screwed, and Eren looks freaking weird as shit.
Thanks for watching my Attack on Titan video. If you like content just like this, hit the subscribe button for more, and let me know what you thought of the Attack on Titan series in the comments. I still got 3 more supercuts to go, so make sure you stay tuned.